Hi, I'm Karen, and I'm from I Do Canals.
Me too also. Well, I'm not Karen, I'm Simon, as you can tell.
Definitely. You're definitely not Karen.
What are we doing today, babe?
Today, we're at Fox and Locks, but we are not filming as in the canals and the locks. We're actually going to tell them a little bit about ourselves.
We are. We mentioned this, I think, over our last two videos, didn't we?
We did, yes.
We haven't told you why we do this and what it is about the canals that actually sparks us and motivates us to go out making these videos in all kinds of freezing weather. You've got your frillies on, warmies on today, haven't you? So you're
still cold though.
Still a bit cold. So I'll
Still
give it a cuddle in a minute too. We'll turn the camera off for that, eh? No. So,
yes.
So we're at Fox and Locks, also site of the inclined plane on the Union Canal Leicester line, and Market Harbour is about 6 miles that way. We did that bit before, didn't we?
We did.
So we won't do that again. But it's great. Just behind us here is the last two locks on the upper five rise. And there's the lockkeeper's cottage.
Yep.
And you might pick up, there's people walking about. It's a popular spot, even though it's cold. Both the car parks, top and bottom, they're pretty full, aren't they?
They are full, but to be honest with you, it's actually quite quiet. I think it's quiet. Well, when we were here last, we had a lot more people here.
And it was raining, there was a lot more people. Bizarre. But anyway, so look, so about us. We've been married 32 years this year.
Yeah, in the June.
It seems longer. We've got about 82 children.
Try 6, Simon.
Okay,
6.
We've got 5, but we've had 6, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. Like I say, I do remember being there.
We'll come back to number. Were you there?
Yes.
They weren't hatched in a jar.
Some might have been.
I think William might have been, mightn't he? Sorry, Wills.
Sorry, mate.
He's our eldest son. So we'll come back to the missing one in a bit because there's some relevance to do with canals. It's a bit different, but you'll understand why. So yeah, we've had 6, and we'll talk a little bit about child number 1, who's not with us.
Back in 1992, on October the 26th, I had a little boy called Daniel.
And we're going to come to Daniel in a minute. We'll talk about him in a minute,
yeah,
won't we? So, but anyway, so some of our children were grown in jars, weren't they? They weren't. Were they all not? Were they natural births? They were natural births.
They were all natural births.
I think William was grown in a jar.
Poor child. No, he wasn't grown in a jar.
He'd get a bit cross if he sees that. He wasn't. We love him really. So I met Karen whilst I was managing a pub near Basingstoke, and so I was carrying on with the staff, wasn't I?
Should I say I was carrying on with the boss?
Yes, it's her fault. She led me astray. But anyway, 3 years later, we got married, and then we started to produce children at an alarming rate of knots. It seemed that every time we slept in the same postcode together, you got pregnant, didn't you?
I could say something to that, but I'm not going to.
Don't. This is PG. We're going to keep it nice.
I'm not going to say something, no.
So anyway, many years later, we rejoined the pub industry, didn't we, in 2017?
We did, yes.
And we had a lovely little pub in a village called Pevensey, and right outside our front door was this amazing old Roman castle, wasn't it? A massive castle,
lovely.
Pevensey Castle. Go and see it if you get a chance. It's incredible. So we hadn't been there long.
No.
8 months.
About 8-9 months.
And it was the second May bank holiday, and I had an astonishing pain in my foot. And when we got to Tuesday morning, this one here said, "Go to the doctor, I'm going to smother you in your sleep." Right?
I did not say that.
She did. That's what she meant. And it was while she was holding a pillow. So I had been wittering a bit about it, and I hadn't been very much...
Wittering? Wittering?
I bore it like a man. I was just, my foot hurts now and again. But
I think, hang on, we put a stool behind the bar. You were in that much pain, you couldn't do anything, so we put a stool behind the bar.
Worse than useless.
You were.
So I went, and whilst I was there, I said to the doctor, my 2 brothers and I had been drunkenly chatting the previous Christmas in our pub, and my younger brother had mentioned the Wellman Clinic test. And as we were all kind of in our early to mid-50s, we thought, what a good idea, and did nothing about it. So I asked the doctor, and the doctor said, yeah, we'll get you booked in. How does Wednesday sound?
Yep.
And 3 days later, a letter arrives in the post that says, make an urgent appointment with your doctor, didn't it?
Did, yes.
So I went, right, straight away. No idea what it was. Doctor wouldn't tell me over the phone. I had to wait till after the weekend. And we got in on Monday, and it said that I had indications of prostate cancer. Anyway, long story short, I had prostate cancer. It was advanced. Anybody who knows, I had a PSA score of 78 on initial detection and 88 after all the tests were done.
Chocolate.
Dogs wandering around the tripods, and I was a little worried because just the other side there's a canal, and I didn't want my camera to go in; it would have gone splosh. Anyway, so my PSA score was 88, and doctors get quite alarmed if it's higher than 10, and really worried if it's above 20. So I was silly. Anyway, I've actually met blokes who've been way higher than that. So they threw everything at me. I had chemotherapy, brachytherapy, radiotherapy.
You had everything.
Hormone therapy.
Oh yes, hormone therapy. That was fun, wasn't it?
And love therapy as well from this lady here.
No, hormone therapy. I don't think I'm going through menopause now, but both of us would sit on the...
we would flush together,
we
wouldn't
we? We would.
So, yeah, listen, if you're a guy, a straight guy, and you have female hormones, it's not fun. It isn't fun. And so, you know...
Can I say something?
Go on then.
Guys, if you're over 55, go and have a PSA jab. It's only a little prick in the arm, and you know what? It could save your life.
It's a little prick where?
In your arm.
In your arm, it's a prick in the arm. They take a little bit of blood. It isn't the other test. Right? It's not that one. Listen, the only time you get worried about that is if doctor's got both hands on your shoulders at the same time. Right? So, right, it's a little prostate cancer humour there. So anyway, long story short, they threw absolutely everything at me. And last September, which is 2022, the 19th of September, I had been clear for 3 years, hadn't I?
3 years, yeah.
I still got some hang-ups from it. We were still managing pubs up until last July. You know, we peaked at 78 hours one week, didn't we? But we were averaging 65, which is nuts under any circumstances.
Too much.
Our bosses didn't give a hoot.
Nope.
So anyway, we departed, and to put the Sainsbury's bill on the table, I went back to designing conservatories and orangeries and living spaces for a local firm in Swindon, didn't I?
You did, yes.
I'm enjoying that. It's good fun, and it takes care of the bills and is, you know, sorting us out.
Yeah.
And then we get a little bit of time to do this every week. So we come out to really lovely places like this. But we want a boat, don't we?
We do.
We haven't got one yet.
About 3 years.
We can't afford it yet, can we?
No.
When we get one, what are we calling it?
Daniel James.
In honour of our first son, who we lost. He'd be 30. He was 30 last year, wasn't he? He'd be 31 this year.
He'll be 31 in the October coming up.
I can't believe how fast the time's gone. It's just absolutely zapped past.
It's gone very quick.
Our little kiddies that we were walking to school, it seems like only yesterday, have now got children of their own, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got children, and they've got, we've got 7 grandchildren. 3
of the children have left home, 2 haven't.
That's a hint.
We'll get them a suitcase, shall we?
That won't work.
No, it won't work. Whilst we were at our pub, and I was going through chemo, this one here announced one morning that she'd booked a little 3-day trip away for us.
I had on Little Hector.
On Little Hector, it was a 45-foot tugboat
with
a diddy little cabin and a pot-bellied wood-burning stove.
Oh, it was really cosy though, wasn't it?
Fantastic boat.
Yeah.
Armada Narrowboats on the Oxford Canal over by Rugby. Recommend it. They've got 3 boats now, haven't they? Jack, Hector, and I can't remember the name of the other one.
No, the other one that I think they were making when we last knew, and that was last year. We spoke to, I think the name guy's called Dave, who runs it.
Dave, if we got that wrong, we're really sorry.
I do apologise, yeah.
Derek, John, Fred.
No, I think
Chris.
it's definitely
Dave.
Dave.
Right, it's Dave.
Yeah, but we can say we went on Hector. It was really cosy. We did 3 locks up and 3 locks back. That was plenty.
So 6 locks. That was Hill Morton locks, which we're going to go and cover in a video once because they're quite historically interesting, aren't they?
But that was enough, especially for you.
Yeah, I couldn't manage it. I was bald as a coot. I had to wear a woolly hat and a hat over the top of that.
Yeah.
Because I had no hair. And but it was really good, and that was the start of it. That really rekindled both our mutual interest in canals and narrowboats and such, didn't it?
Yeah.
We had to go twice on the Norfolk Broads. We took a couple of boats out, didn't we?
We did. I mean, I did like the Norfolk Broads, but it's not as good as barging. I prefer the barging.
In a couple of weeks, you pretty much covered the Norfolk Broads, haven't you?
Yeah.
And so, you know, we're looking at doing this long-term, full-time in the future, aren't we?
Yeah.
And thankfully, there's like 2,700 miles of navigable, connected waterway And even now, they're still bringing on new waterways. They're repairing them, aren't we? We've been to see a couple of those.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we went for our wedding anniversary a couple of years ago, and that was our 30th. And we went on a little boat from Norbury Wharf, Phoenix. That was a nice thing. The
50-foot boat, that was nice.
The only thing we didn't like was them, what were they called? Not dragonflies, horseflies.
Horseflies? Oh, dear God. Our last
Horseflies.
boat trip was fine. We were in this time of the year. It was like early January, February time. But when we went June and July across the Shropshire Union and the Llangollen Canal, we got ate to bits with horseflies.
Didn't we?
Here's a little clip of me doing the horsefly dance.
And I don't know if this is a myth, don't wear blue.
We got told don't wear blue. A lot of my shirts are blue. And somebody said that they like blue, so from then on I was wearing yellow and other colours and stuff like that.
But you still got bit.
I still got bit, and I had a huge one on the back of my leg, and it took weeks to go down. You had one too, that wasn't any good.
Well, we ended up mooring up and going to a chemist, and walked into a chemist, and they said you've been bitten by horseflies.
I think they knew, didn't they?
Yeah.
So from that point on, we were covered in this goop, which kind of helped a bit, but they were really persistent, weren't they?
They were.
I rolled up a newspaper, and as we're driving along, all you can see is me swinging my arms around doing the horsefly dance, swatting them blooming things and stepping on them when you got them. And it didn't matter. You got one, there was another two to take its place. There were so many. Yeah. And you can't feel them biting you.
Nope.
You don't feel a thing, do you?
Nope.
Horrendous blooming things.
But it was a nice holiday. It was nice.
Oh, it was
relaxing.
Best.
Did lots and lots of locks. Enjoyed that.
We stopped at a pub, was it near Audlam, and watched England whoop Germany.
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah,
pub was a riot, absolutely riot.
It was
such a good atmosphere.
It was a good atmosphere,
absolutely brilliant. But where did we go that you were a bit oh my god about?
I don't remember.
Pontysilty Aqueduct.
Well,
can you say it?
Pontysilty Aqueduct. No, I can't.
Not even close.
No.
We'll do some training on that.
Well, it's not the aqueduct itself. It's the fact it's long.
It's 127 feet up,
and it's the feet up. So. If I ever...
as you're going over towards Trevor Basin, over the left side, you've got about this much water, this much water, this much metal, then woo, all the way to the bottom.
Yes, well, maybe one day I'll do it. Maybe. But if I have to, I'm getting my big girl pants on. I'm going to that shop. I'm going to have to buy several pairs.
You can borrow mine, it'll be all right.
I don't want yours, I want my own. I want pink ones.
Anyway, so, coming up soon...
Yeah.
We've got a week in Wales, haven't we?
We have at the end of the month.
And we've just hinted at what we're going to go and refilm, haven't we?
We have actually, yeah.
So there's like a teaser there. We're going to go and... It was our first proper video.
Well, it was actually... you did the video. I actually wasn't actually featured in that one.
You weren't, so you've got to be in it. It's only 2.5 minutes long. We want to do a proper one. There's so much to say and to see and say about Thomas Telford's Pontysilty Aqueduct. Yeah. And then we're going to go and do the other ones a little bit further south, Chirk Aqueduct and the tunnel.
And you can go through that.
Towpath on
you
that
can
one,
go through that one.
I think it's about 800 yards or something like that. Anyway, it's a good length.
It's not actually that... Well, I wouldn't say 800 yards.
Might be bigger than that. Might be 1,200 yards. We'll find out when we get there.
But I know you can walk through that.
We can walk through it. We're going to have a look at that. And we've got another shot location to do, if we can.
Yep.
And we're going to go down a little bit further down the Llangollen Canal to Ellesmere Port. So we'll go and have a look at that. We were there in July 2020.
Was it 2020?
2021.
2021.
Yeah, it seems like such a long time ago. And it was fascinating. We met a chap on, and he had two boats. There was a powered old narrowboat and a butty moored up, and they were fuel boats, weren't they? And we did a video with them, but it was with a NAF microphone, and
it was awful.
It wasn't any good. So.
But then we met, obviously, when we were coming back, we met up with a couple, nice couple, I can't remember their names. And
Ian and...
I can't remember. But I know...
Videoed. Oh, and as we were coming down Shropshire Union, they ran aground.
They
There's
did.
something called the Shropshire Shelf. If you've been on the Shropshire Union, you know about the Shropshire Shelf.
Yeah.
And literally canal side, and then you've got this enforcement bit which strengthens the canal bank. But the canal, they were a bit low on water, and their boat, Juniper, wasn't it?
Yes.
Ran aground. Here's what happened.
Well, that evening we moored up with this couple as well.
Yeah, we did.
Yep. I can't remember.
They offered me a gin and tonic, didn't they?
Well, yeah. I think a bottle later between two of you.
It was a little bit tiddly.
Well, you're supposed to be cooking dinner that night. There's no way I was letting you in the kitchen.
I think I was asleep by 9.
Oh, I fed you, and I think I left you. What left you? I washed up, cleaned up, and I actually went out on the back of the boat and phoned our daughter with a nice glass of red wine because you'd passed that on the set-in. I thought, I'm just leaving you.
I was comatose.
Yeah, well, I came in, had a shower, went to bed, and I think that was about 10:30, 11:15, because it was such a beautiful evening just to sit on the end of the boat.
I missed that evening. Actually, no, I think I woke up before it was closing time. I don't mean at the pub. We didn't go to the pub. I had a snooze, a slightly alcohol-induced snooze.
Yes, I don't remember, but I know I sat up on the back of the boat and I had a glass of wine.
I think that was alcohol-free gin, to be honest.
It was not alcohol-free gin.
So we've got something hidden here, right? And we're planning something when we get a boat, aren't we?
We are.
And we're not going to detail the plan yet. but we're going to give you a hint as to what it's about. All right, so let's just go forward a little bit, just so you can see it. So it's Stand Up to Cancer, okay? And our plan is to raise £1 million, minimum £1 million, for Stand Up to Cancer. And clearly, it's Stand Up to Cancer is a subject that's close to our hearts, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
We've both had, as well as myself, we've both had family members. Your mum,
yeah,
my mum, my father, and even one of our daughters at the moment.
They are all still with us.
Well, yeah. My grandfather, he died of cancer. He had bowel and bladder, and prostate. He's been passed a lot of years. So, as far as the family's concerned, there's been a lot, hasn't there?
Has been a lot.
And they reckon that cancer will touch 1 in 2 of everybody. So, you know, I've had one. Hopefully you don't get any.
I don't want it, but it's
you've got to
one
make
of the
your
things.
diet better, though, haven't you? She has promised she's going to give up sugar as much as possible. Haven't you?
It's going to be a hard one.
Yeah.
Can we wait till the holidays being gone? Because
So
it's no way.
every video we make from now on is going to have a Stand Up to Cancer logo on it.
Yep.
And not too far away, we're going to start a donation page where you can donate to that. And when we get close to our big plan, we'll flesh it out more and we'll let you know what that is going to be. It's going to take us over a year to do.
Yep, because going back to cancer, without me, you wouldn't have got. Well, you would have got through it.
Do you know, no, she's absolutely. She's not boasting there at all. It's if you go through something as tough as that, and you have to have every treatment they're going to throw at you, it wears you down. It's really hard, and without Karen there, I'd have struggled. I'd have really struggled. And I went from doing a full pub working week, barely managing 6 or 8 hours a week. In fact, all I'd do was prep the vegetables and put the roasts in for Sunday lunch and do the admin, and that was about it. I wasn't much more use than that.
No, but we had a good set of team who took some of my hours from me, so I could not just look after you, but I was running the pub and doing what I could.
It was our chef, Dave.
He was
Dave,
amazing.
If you're watching this, we love you, man. You're a great guy.
And our Karen. And our Ginger Ninja Karen.
Ginger Ninja Karen. And also Will's our eldest son. And our other kids as well. You know, they were all doing everything they could to help, weren't they?
Well, the 2 little ones were still at school, but they did what they could at home.
We did have a good team, didn't we?
Yes.
Michael, if you're watching, well done. You know, it was great having you there. Michael
Sheridan,
You know, and you know, we did have a really good team. We had an amazing night when we raised all that dosh. We had 13 of us. Not me, because I didn't have any hair. 13 have a head shave, didn't it? Sponsored head shave.
And we had 2 girls, 3 girls that did it. 3 girls.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
There was Ruby, who was 16, had all her hair took in one go, and they used that for wigs for kids.
Her mum, Lindsay.
Did the same.
Yeah, mum, Lindsay. And
her aunt.
Lindsay's sister, who I can't remember the name of.
I can't remember her name either. And her dad also did it.
Yes.
There was the barber, Alan, was encouraged by Rich, who was one of our more regularly drunken customers. He was having his chest, armpits, and head shaved.
I think he had everything. I think if
he didn't have that shaved. You know.
I think if he could have got away with it, he would have.
But he shouted across, "Alan, if you have your head shaved, I'll donate £200." And Alan kind of looked around the room and said, "Oh, I could hardly say no, could I?"
But he did have his head shaved, but he didn't. He kept
the chiseled beard that stayed on.
The beard stayed on. Now I didn't shave my head. Nothing because I do stand up for cancer, but I didn't want to shave my hair. So I said no, did I?
No, she did.
Now,
we auctioned what was left of my moustache, didn't we? And that went for 90 quid.
That was 95.
Was it 95?
95 it went for.
So next week's video.
Yeah, we're going.
Go on then.
The Gloucester Sharpness. Or the Sharpness Gloucester.
You had it the first time. We're going to go to the Gloucester Sharpness Canal. Specifically, we're going to start at Sharpness Docks and have a little look there. We were there last year, late summer we were there, weren't we?
We were there late summer,
but we didn't have decent microphones. And our microphone that sits on top of the camera was picking up everything. And there was a load of girls giggling in this little table thing.
Well, I think they were just,
we're having a load of fun.
It's the end of the summer holidays, probably getting together before they all went back to school in September.
Absolutely. So we couldn't video properly. But then also we're going to go up to Saul Junction, which is where the Stroudwater Canal crossed the Gloucester Sharpness Canal. It's pretty short there. There's a little short stretch where boats can moor up. And then they've done a load of repair of the Stroud Water Canal through Stroud, with some gaps to complete yet, and a little bit of rerouting because some buildings and things like that and roads are currently in the way. So they're going to go and do that. And then we might get up to Gloucester Docks. That's really nice up there. It's a whole load of some of the old warehouses from the old canal cargo carrying days. But Gloucester Docks used to take some big ships in it. They still do, in fact.
Yeah.
They had the tall ships were in there a few years ago.
Yeah, and there's a priory there as well.
There's the priory. We're going to have a look. There's a nice little museum there. We're going to have a little peep at that.
Yep.
So we'll try and squeeze that in next week if the weather's good. There's a possibility we might do that over 2 videos. But if we can get it into one, we'll do it into one. It's quite a lot to cram into one day, isn't it?
It's a lot.
But anyway, what we'd like you to do, please, is like this video.
And subscribe to us, please.
Subscribe to our channel. We'd love that all to bits.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
And come again soon. Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye.